Hello there, and welcome to my channel. This is Ignite Your Wow, the show where I interview people that make me go wow, and I'm sure you will do the same. I'm happy today to have a very, very special friend who's my guest today. But first we got to do some business. We got Blue Sky Video Productions. Thank you for sponsoring this show. He is a live stream producer. He makes me look like I actually know what I'm doing here. And he's also a YouTube strategist, and we all know how important these days it is to have your YouTube numbers growing, and he's the man to help you out. And the other sponsor is Cards That Wow, and that's me. I create branded note cards and corporate branded gifts. And when you send one of my cards, people, when they open up, they actually say, wow, and they will remember you. And I am here to help you take your brand to the next level. So today we have Bruce. He's going to give us a tip because he's always good with those tips.
I'm always good with some sort of tips. So I'm always scouring the interwebs for something. So I guess today's tip is kind of something new, something old. What's new is Facebook is looking to launch their own version of Clubhouse. It's not new news. That's me calling you, Sandra.
Sorry.
I wasn't calling you.
Smooth. Never goes smooth.
So what's new is Facebook's version of Clubhouse. They basically launched or came up with the concept or told people about it back in February. And actually, Zuckerberg has actually been on Clubhouse talking about audio conversions. And so they're actually launching their own version of it and then integrating podcasting into Facebook, which may change the face of Facebook or change the face of podcasting. The other one that's kind of old is called Facebook Creator Studio. If you haven't created if you've got a business page, and you haven't looked into Creator Studio, it's free and it gives you insights into your page and actually puts all these things into one place. So check out your Creator Studio on Facebook.
Cool. Thank you so much.
And have a great show.
We will. Thanks. Today, my guest is the amazing Jay Noland, and I have gotten to know him over the past couple of months. He was kind enough to welcome me into his home, and I got to meet in person his son and his lovely wife, Lena. And today he has so many things going on. We're just going to kind of go through and hear his wonderful story and hear all about the amazing projects that he's working on. So let's bring in Jay.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
You like my snappy music?
I like that. Have me over. I'm going to get a little sip of coffee. I'm like, man, maybe you just want to get a sip of coffee for some reason.
Yeah. So thank you for being on my show. It's like I met you. I feel like I've known you for years. And I mean that in a good way, because I think we just connected so quickly. And, I was at your house and I feel like part of your family now.
Absolutely.
I'm the crazy aunt that comes to visit once a year, I guess.
And we love it. This is the one that you love to have. You got the crazy aunts that you're like, And then you got the crazy aunts where you can do all kind of fun things with. That's Kellen.
Thank you. So, there's so many things that we can talk about. And I know that, you've been on a lot of shows lately, and I don't want you to get tired about talking about the same thing. So I want to pick out the important things. Yeah. And I want to talk about, because one of the things that to me was you gave up a professional career in baseball. Yeah. And to a lot of people, they wouldn't be able to comprehend somebody stepping away from something such huge magnitude, because, you work your whole life for that moment, but it's like a higher calling. And your passion to help people is one of the things that I just connected with you right away. I thought he is such a giving and thoughtful man. And I would like our audience to know, about that journey. And then we can talk about all the other fabulous things you do.
Yeah, it was, growing up in a small country town, being raised on a hog farm with my grandfather back in Kentucky. I never would have imagined how the life escapes would play out. My dad planted in my brain when I was little to become a professional baseball player. So even though we were out on his hog farm, he was talking about being a professional baseball player. Why? My grandfather played in kind of like the semi-pro old Negro leagues, and he was a pitcher. So my family loved baseball. And my dad actually played professional softball.
Oh, wow.
So I was around balls, bats, and balls all the time. And so he kind of groomed me to be a professional athlete. So once I had an opportunity in 1988 to get drafted by the San Diego Padres, what's unique is at the same time, I had a full ride scholarship offer to the University of Miami in 1988. So I was going to a junior college after my second year. They were like, hey, do you want to keep eating spaghetti for 45 different ways? 2 more years of college? Or would you like to go pro, take all this money? Now, here I am, a 19-year-old with all this money, tired of being broke. So I grabbed the money. Started my career, played 6.5 years, finally signed my major league invite contract with the Seattle Mariners in 1995. Was blessed enough to have a roommate, I should say, a road roommate, Alex Rodriguez at the time, getting ready to play next to Ken Griffey Jr. And then I blow my elbow out. And so I'm like, wow. So I go into this surgery. They said it's going to be a year rehab. And it was crazy. Now, backtracking to what you said, Kellen, is before I got to that 6th year, after my 4th year, I did a hiatus where I felt a deep spiritual calling in me to find out why I'm here. And so after I won my second stolen base championships in the minor leagues, I was going to the major leagues the next year in 1993. And I decided to go on this deep spiritual journey, and it freaked everybody out. I said, hey, I'm not coming back. So I took that year off. I thought it was going to be forever, but it was about a year before I felt, all right, I've got a decent idea about the spiritual journey, but I'm not completely satisfied. So let me put it on pause. Let me go back and try to finish out my career. And I did. And then I ended up blowing out my elbow. And then I fell in love with business. And so after a year of rehab, I could have actually went back and played Major League Baseball, but I decided I want to start controlling my destiny, kind of like where I can say wow to myself.
I love it. I love it. So there's so many things. When you said stolen bases, the first thing that came to my mind was you stole something else. That's for sure. Lena's heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just love
That's
her. And
that's the greatest thing I've ever stolen was my wife's heart. And she stole mine. It's the first time I stole a base and then somebody stole my base right back, you know?
Yeah, I love it. So let's talk about I'm fascinated by the tones because I'm learning more and more about them and about how, like from birth until 7, they're saying you have no control. And do you want to explain a little bit how the tones work?
Well, I think it's important to kind of set the backdrop of what it takes to become a professional athlete. It's extreme discipline. 1 in 500,000 kids that go play baseball end up making it to the major league. So I was one of those 1 in 500,000. So that's extreme discipline. So when I went into business, I took that same discipline. Mm-hmm. So everything I do to this day, I'm 52 years of age, I take the same discipline. So a lot of folks want to be able to make professional athlete income, but they don't really understand that it takes professional athlete discipline to make that income. So when it comes to understanding who you are, and I told you I'd already took that break back after 1992, that put me on a path to where I kept reaching. So as the years would go by, I never forgot my spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. And in October 2004, I took a hiatus for 3 years. So I had a business that was running. It was running pretty well in the mortgage banking and brokerage out in Phoenix. And I had some folks that could run that business. And so while the real estate market was doing good, that was providing great income. And that allowed me for 3 years to start studying the deeper parts of spirituality and subconscious and mental. Mm-hmm. So I would study the origins of words and how you think for 6 to 10 hours a day for 3+ years. And after that, I really felt like I owned my thoughts. But I was like, who's going to be willing to take 6 to 10 hours a day for 3 years to do that? Are there any shortcuts? So I've been on a path ever since 2004, really 1992, to figure out how does the mind, how does the body, how does the spirit, why are we here? How does it work? And I found a shortcut. I believe it with all my heart. It's through your brain waves. Aristotle, the great philosopher, said, give me a child from 0 to 7, I'll show you the adult. Why? Because he understood that the brain mapping of the subconscious mind and your mind as a whole takes place between 0 to 7 predominantly. And then you just kind of compound from there. So I just, Kellen, started studying that with all I've got. And I started getting together with scientists and technology, sound technology professionals, and understanding how the brain works. And I found out that these wavelengths, things you can't see, just like music is all around us. How do we know? Well, we put our station on, hit a little channel, here it comes. We can hear it. There's no wires connected to our house or to our cars yet. Think about when you're driving down the road and you're listening to the radio. How does that music get in your car?
I always
it's waves. Isn't that a trip, Kellen? Like it's just waves. So the same way those waves, I know, like that phone, like your phone rang a while ago, right? That's just somebody hit a button and then it waved and all of a sudden it rang. Your brain, I found, works in the same way. And the trauma, the fear, the doubt are just wave patterns. And the way they got patterned is called programming. And whatever can be programmed can be reprogrammed. You might have to hit the delete button on some things to make some room, but you can reprogram. And that's what brainwave entrainment does. It just helps to reprogram your mind to be able to be the person you want to be.
That is fascinating. There's our buddy Justin. Hey, Justin.
Hey, my man.
And let's take a little break here. I also see Teresa's here. Thank you for watching, Teresa and Missy. Love Missy. You know Missy?
Hey, Missy.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is new to me, and I've studied a lot. I've done a lot of like psychological research and, just in trying to discover myself and why I am the way I am. So why, where would be the appropriate place to teach this to a new parent? Because if it starts there and it's like, oh my gosh, things would be so different. And I actually did that with my daughter without even knowing it, because I didn't do any, like, my child was pretty messed up, but I wanted to make sure that she saw love, felt, was not afraid to show emotion or affection, that. So you can't expect people just to learn this like just automatically. It's not in a book somewhere, is it?
No, they don't teach it in school. Should. So what you got to do is you got to come across someone, or you got to get so frustrated in life that you begin to dig. So if you want to learn, I got a 54-minute movie that can just shortcut you through all of this stuff. And I suggest every parent, every human being watch this 54-minute movie. Number one, it's going to entertain you because of the graphics that we put. So if you go to confidencetones.com/CTF, F is in Frank, C is in Charlie, T is in Tom, F is in Frank, confidencetones.com/CTF, there's a 54-minute movie that explains this from A to Z, how this whole brain process works, how it takes place, and how simple it is to just put on a set of headphones, spend somewhere between 11 to 30 minutes a day, and after a matter of weeks in some cases, actually reprogram your mind to begin to attract those things you want in your life.
I do this every show. I think I'm getting senile. Do you have any tones to make you not senile?
We actually do got some tones to help with brain support. We do.
No, this whole tones thing is just it's fascinated me since I met you. And so how has it changed how you're raising your son, your knowledge?
See, I knew this coming into raising. Right. My son is 6 years old. So I knew that how I talked to him, what I said to him was going to shape his subconscious and his posture. And you got a chance to meet him. He's a different cat. He has a different posture about himself. He's very calm, confident.
Yes.
And energetic at the same time. Imagine that.
Uber polite.
Right.
Uber polite. It's just
big time polite. And he's so smart. And he's bilingual already. My wife is from Colombia. So my son speaks Spanish and English in the house, intertwined all day long, no problem. Why? Because the brain waves that he's operating at from 2 to 7 is what's called a theta state, where the wave of your brain predominantly is between 4 to 8 hertz per second. That's where you learn the most. Now, there's 2 times a day that everybody on Earth slips into a theta state to where you can learn or reprogram fast. It's right when you're waking up and right when you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, your brain wave really slows down and gets between 0.5 to 4 hertz, unless you're under a lot of stress. If you're under a lot of stress, it'll even skip past theta, and you'll start getting into alpha and delta and things like that, which you don't want to do when you're sleeping because you can't heal. Right. So in that delta, that REM sleep, where you sleep, Kellen, you're sleeping so hard, you're like, and you wake up, you're like, where am I at?
Mm-hmm. That happens occasionally.
Okay. That's when you can really heal. And that's why a lot of folks, in my opinion, are dying too early, because they don't get their body, their immune systems are being drugged down because they don't get a good sleep to heal. So we actually have tones that will help you to get into a delta state. We call them our deep sleep systems. So if you have problems sleeping, we've got tones. You can just put them on. You don't even need headphones for these. Mm-hmm. If you want, it just makes it deeper. But you press play, you set back, and then we start kicking out delta waves to your brain, and you can just chill out.
It's amazing. So talk about the professionals that you had to reach out to make these tones and make, the appropriate tone to help people. I mean, you didn't just say, oh, we're going to pick this song and this vibration. And
no, there's people that they, like I'm also into mycology, which is medicinal mushrooms. So, I have large manufacturing capabilities, which is another division of things I do. So I find experts. So if I want to learn more about medicinal mushrooms, I find mycologists. So you got to do a lot of research, a lot of networking, somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody knows somebody. So I'm good at that. I'm good at networking and finding out who's who. So the same thing when I got involved with this, I was like, okay, who is great at brainwave entrainment and binaural beats and solfeggio tones and isochronic tones, things that people have never really heard of their whole life. I started finding this little path, and then you get to one person who leads you to another person. And if you're good at networking, you go, oh, that's the guy, that's the gal. They're the ones who know it. And then you utilize your personal growth skills to develop these relationships. So does it make a difference with your personal growth skills? Yes, because these people get approached by several different people. And if you're not personable, they're not going to talk to you. Or if you don't know how to get in with them, they're not going to talk to you. So one of the other aspects that I do is not only do I utilize the tones to help your subconscious mind, while we're helping your subconscious mind, I have deep, high-level personal growth training programs that teaches you how to talk to other people, how to interact with other people, how to public speak, how to be confident. So if you ask me what my number one product is that I personally sell from an individual standpoint, it would be confidence. Mm-hmm. That's what I sell more than anything, is I sell confidence.
Well, how many people can say that?
Yeah. And I'm always like, hey, man, you got enough confidence? You need
I don't think you ever have enough confidence.
No,
Do you have enough confidence?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I can never get enough. You always, it's like gas. You got to keep refilling. The thing about confidence is it can't be owned. It can only be rented, and you got to pay rent every day.
Yep.
You gotta pay. If you get lazy and just sit back, you will become, if you don't move, you'll become unconfident. Mm-hmm. So you got to move. It means you got to talk to people. You got to go ahead and push yourself to just be personable, what I call it.
That's such a big, it feels like the things that they teach in school are so, like calculus. Have you used calculus for anything?
One time that I know of. I might have used it, not known it, but
trigonometry.
Yeah.
So instead of those courses, they should have socialization. And
did you take logic? I took logic, and it was the most illogical class.
There was no logic in logic. No.
Logic. So that's really the one that made me say this is not right. The school education system, when I took a logic class in college and it was illogical, I says, I need to learn how to hit these baseballs real good.
I'm so glad you had a choice, right?
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know, and it seems like college, I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but when you go into college, sometimes you just don't have your direction and your passion, and it's just money being spent. And sometimes it's good just to be out there and figure out what, how you want to save the world, which part of the
Yeah.
world you want to save. So
Yeah.
so no, I love the tones things, and I've been using I think I have the confidence tones, and
You got the foundation tones.
yeah.
Everybody, in my opinion, needs to start with the confidence tones. Has got a whole different
Oh,
platform.
that's the different. Okay.
So the
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to
foundation
sleep.
tones, yeah, the sleep was a critical, but the foundation tones deals with any trauma.
Mhm.
How many people you know has been through trauma?
Everybody I know.
Yeah, almost every person's been through some kind of trauma. And if it happened between 0 to 7, it's really important that you deal with that. So I created for myself the foundation tones. And once I saw them work on me, I had a few other people try them. They came back with rave reports like, oh my gosh. So once they came back, I was like, well, let's go ahead and put this out in the public and let's just guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than, having to do a whole line of scientific experimental on our specific products, we just say, hey, try them. You got 30 days. You don't like it, we give you all your money back. And it's just rare that anybody goes, oh, my money back. It's just rare. I mean, maybe a couple times ever.
So do you think some of it is placebo? Like you think it's going to help you, it's going to help you?
Yeah, I do believe that has a factor, because whatever you think, you're right.
Because you've opened your mind to let it happen.
Yeah.
So I don't mean that they're fake or anything. I mean that
I'm just saying, but there is an aspect of placebo that is extremely critical.
Mm-hmm.
Suggestibility, for you to suggest to yourself, or expectability. I expect something great to happen. That does open a path. Now, when you open up to that way, and then you put the right wavelength on top of you being open, I believe you got a compound effect.
Now, what about if you go in there? This isn't going to work. Can it battle that barrier if they sit and actually listen? I always wonder, because my mom's a negative nanny, and
the coolest part about the tones is if somebody is like kind of like naturally being negative, I would suggest they listen to the voice, because we give you two options with the foundations. It's voice or no voice. If they're like negative, I would say definitely listen to the voice. Mm-hmm. If they listen to the voice and they kind of follow along, it'll kind of walk them into being unnegative. They'll be talking. It gives you kind of instructions, and you're kind of talking through it. Next thing you know, you're positive.
Well, we all need a little push.
Everybody's gonna buy that for a gift. Mama, come here. Listen to this.
I'd like to order 10.
These.
Oh my God! So we met on Clubhouse, and now you have the 1%ers Club.
1%.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit and tell my audience what that is?
Yeah, we got about 2,000.
I know.
In that club, like in a month, and the reason is because me and the CEO of the LA Tribune, Mo Rock, we decided to get together with this and take my company, MYB Publishing and Productions, and just create something that would be above and beyond, that would suggestibility wise have people go, I want to be the top 1% of anything I do. Mm-hmm. Starting with making a positive impact on this earth for people that need help, orphans, battered women, children, abused animals, our earth. So that's the first and foremost of the 1%ers only club, is to be elite thinking. Mm-hmm. So instead of passing the buck to somebody else, what if you every day were giving everything you could to make an impact in this world? And everybody took that on. So everybody that comes in that club, they really have that mindset to say, you know what? I might not be 1% financially, but I'm 1% in making a difference, because I bring the greatest attitude every day. I uplift people every day. Mm-hmm. I make people smile every day. So the 1% starts with just that 1%. Right. What if you got 1% better for 100 straight days? 1% every day. At the end of 100 days, you'd be 100% better. So that's really our focus. If you go to Clubhouse, you type in 1%ers only, you'll be able to see our club. And then, we do rooms pretty much. No, we do them every day. So we're on a 100-day marathon. At the time of this video that we're doing now, today will be day 41 straight.
Wow. That's amazing. I feel so bad that I haven't been able to join in because I've been taking care of my mom. But when I can pop in, it's always an amazing room and inspirational. And
we've had tens of thousands of people come through there in just 40 days. I mean, we did a 24-hour women's abuse awareness. We had over 3,000 people come through.
Yep, last
night, we had John Ledger, the ex-CEO of T-Mobile. He's in the room. Grant Cardone came in the room. It's all these different celebrities pop in and out of that room all the time. And, you get to hear from these minds that otherwise would cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to learn from these folks. Mm-hmm. We just attract a lot of powerhouse people in there to get you to think better.
Yeah, no, I love that room. And when I can go, I'm there.
Yes.
So is there some, I know you have something on Facebook, you have a group, and I noticed there's something online.
Yeah, we got a private group. You can find all about the 1%ers if you go to the1percenters.club, the1percenters.club. You'll be able to get information about the club because we have a private Facebook group. We have a VIP opportunity for people that want to learn from some giants, people that taught Robert Kiyosaki, people that taught Tony Robbins. They're part of the 1%ers, and they provide training with our VIPs. We do masterminds every week. It's off the charts. And so it's a lot of great opportunities to be involved with what we're doing.
No, it sounds amazing. So after your 100 days,
that would be the 1%ers, THE, the1percenters.club. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, after your 100 days, what's next for Jay Noland? Because you are a mover and a shaker, and you're always thinking. And you probably have 10 more projects in your head right now, don't you?
Yeah, we're rocking right now. So, like right now, we are going around the clock. So Confidence Tones is the daughter of the mother that's about to be released in 6 weeks. That's an app that will be on the Apple App Store and the Android App Store. And then Confidence Tones will come inside of it and just be a part of a bigger app that people will be able to have access to. Then we're launching a luxury travel site that'll be out in the next 1 month, 4 weeks. So people are about to pull their hair and their skin off and out to be able to travel. And so I've been involved in travel for probably about 3 years. And so we are building a luxury travel platform that's affordable at unbelievable rates because we have access to the largest inventory we know of in the world. And so people can save, up to 75% on their travel.
Wow.
And so we'll be releasing that very soon. We got the marketing going on behind that at the same time. And so, we've just got different projects. We got different folks that we're building courses for. We got Dan Pilla, the #1 tax expert in the country. And Wall Street Journal said it. Associated Press has said he's, the #1 guy. We have him on PillaTaxAcademy.com to be able to help people get control over that beast that scares everybody. He makes it unscary. He actually makes taxes sexy. So we call them sexy taxes. So,
I need those.
And the reason we say that, we go, is your tax situation ugly? And everybody's like, yeah. Do you know much about taxes? No. So guess what? We want to make them sexy taxes happen. So
that's genius.
So we're pumping that out. I mean, we just got, gosh almighty, we just got great projects, and I can't wait to be able to share. And then we've got all my personal growth stuff at jnolandmastery.com. So jnolandmastery.com. I got a new book coming out, The Power of a Woman from the Perspective of Real Men. That just went through. Les Brown is actually writing the foreword in that book.
Oh, wow.
Giving it to us today. So yeah, there goes the site. So you can look at, if you click on products, we got great free resources over there, jnolandmastery.com. You can see all the stuff that we're doing as far as me personally, one-on-one training opportunities, for the select of the select that want one-on-one time. So, but it's just, we stay busy, Kellen. We stay busy.
I love that about you. Sometimes I get tired just watching you and listening to you. Like, oh, I gotta take 5 minutes. I gotta take a break. So, well, we're at our.
I have to say,
Okay.
the greatest gift that me and Lena has ever received in our 8 years of marriage is from this woman that you're listening to right now, Kellen Ann. She delivered a gift from Cars That Wow that blew me away. It made me bawl cry. Fellas, I was bawling.
I actually sent it to Bruce to share. Is that okay?
Send it to Bruce. Come on, Bruce. You gonna make me cry again, Bruce?
No, I don't want you to cry, but I just wanted you to know how much you guys mean to me. That's all.
She was listening to she came to our house and was asking about Lena and I and our future. I mean, our past and how we got together. And we told her the story. And then she created a card that told the story of our love that was so unexpected. So I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, what is this? The next thing I realize it, and we're laying in the bed because we happened to open it in the morning, and Lena and I are laying in the bed, and we're both sitting up there, just crying. And we called Kellen. We're like, Kellen, what are you doing? We didn't even know she was sitting.
I guess I don't know. Bruce, did you find it?
Thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, like I said, it was just
our house right now in a very prominent place. If people come over, they go, "What is that?"
Oh, there it is.
Wow.
I hope it looks better on your wall. That's like,
I tell you what, man, that right there is just gorgeous. I will never, ever forget this gift. It says, "Our love story, Lena and Jay." And then she talked about all the different parts of the world where we traveled and we were able to connect and just, who would have thought of that? Y'all know, anybody watching this, wouldn't that make you go, wow? That's what Kellen does for real. No,
actually, I was creating it while you guys were telling the story. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
How creative is that? I mean, Kellen, that is like super fly snooker talent.
Maybe I need to ask you to take a picture of it on your wall so I can have a better picture of it.
Okay, we'll get it. I'll have Lena send you a pristine
there. Well, we are past our half hour, but I ask every guest the same question. What makes you wow?
What makes me wow is my children that we support and done so for 11 years in Kenya, Africa. We have our own orphanage school. And they wow me because these are kids that don't have a mom or a dad. Mm. And at times we take care of up to 370 kids.
Wow.
And, but we are looking to break ground on a facility that can take care of 2,000 by the end of the year.
Wow.
To break the ground.
You're wowing me.
Wow. So, and I did a video about 4 or 5 days ago with the infamous Les Brown, to where he committed to help support these children in Kenya. We also have projects in Colombia, and we've got 3 women's organizations: battered women, children, indigenous abused women. Here in the United States, we got 3 organizations. If you go to backtobackprojects.com, you can find out about these incredible things that my wife really helped spearhead, and she's passionate about it. So we've helped a lot of people, and that's what wows me when I get to see these kids that smile. They send me videos, and and then there's sometimes, Kellen, they'll send me a video and they're singing my name.
Aww.
And I mean, first time I heard, I was on stage in front of like 500 or 600 people, and my film crew surprised me. And the kids were singing. They said, they were singing in Swahili, and then they say Jay Noland. And I was like, they say my name? They're like, yeah. And they're like, when you come, they said that I'm planning a trip. As soon as this COVID thing breaks out, we're planning a trip there to the village. And they says it's going to be thousands of people come from everywhere to show up because of what we've done over the past decade.
That's amazing. That's part of the reason I believe we connected. I love your giving heart, and you're just amazingly compassionate. You and Lena both. I just love you both. And I want to thank you for being on my show today. And I also want to thank everybody who tuned in live to watch. And those of you, if you are watching this on the replay, please let me know and tell me, give me some feedback. If you like what you heard, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because then you'll get alerted every time I go live, which is every Tuesday. And again, I want to thank you, Jay. You're an amazing person, and I just love you to death. So thank you for being here.
Everybody's got to subscribe. You got to share Kellen. Her heart is gold. My philosophy is it's time for the good people to win. And Kellen's one of the great people with the great heart. And a lot of times people with the great hearts, they get taken advantage of, or they get taken for granted. And we don't want that to happen anymore. So that's really what we want to stand for. And I believe that Kellen and I have connected together to be able to work and support everybody that's watching this for you to win. So I want everybody to know that we believe it's time for you to win. So stay connected to Kellen and what she's doing. And then I'll always be here to support as well. Thank you so much, Kellen.
Thank you so much.
Watching.
Love you.
How you make that?